Hello, Charles County. Welcome to an episode of Inside Your County Government. I'm in two roles today. I'm Doria Fleischer, your Community Engagement Manager in the Media Division, but I'm also here to talk about Children and Family Resource Academy, which is a really special program, I think, because I get to facilitate it. So I'm here today with two wonderful people who help support this program as well, so we can tell you about the Children and Family Resource Academy and hopefully encourage some of our listeners and viewers to want to be a part of this great program opportunity. Joining me is Supreme Khalifa, who's our local management board supervisor. Thanks for being here, Supreme.
Thanks for having me.
And Michelle Cureton, who wears a couple of different hats also. So Michelle, you are a Citizens Academy graduate.
Yes, I am.
You are a Children and Family Resource Academy graduate.
Yes, I am.
You are a Charles County resident.
Yes, I am.
And you're a Charles County educator.
I am that too.
Middle school, which is
Amongst
like a
other
whole
things.
other, like, I feel like it's like hat, and then middle school educator halo of like,
Well, thank you for that.
and I so appreciate you both being here. We are about to begin taking applications for our second Children and Family Resource Academy.
Mm-hmm.
We did our first one in the winter and spring of 2025. And I was laughing because we got hit by so many snowstorms last year and we kept canceling class, rescheduling class. But I'm hoping that this year, because all the snow went away in January, that means that Children and Family Resource Academy will go without a hitch, right?
Let's hope.
It's going to be good.
So our Children and Family Resource Academy is a program that is funded by the local management board. And Supreme, that is your wheelhouse. You are the face of our local management board. For people who don't know what that is, give us an overview of what you do and what your role is in Charles County, please.
Sure. So I am the local management board supervisor, and our division sits under the Department of Community Services here in county government. We are responsible for ensuring that programs are accessible and plentiful to children, youth, and families. Our target population is 0 through 24 years of age. So that
Which is quite the, like, that's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many different variables and scenarios that fall within those
Yeah.
different age groups. So, we're dealing with young children, prenatal even. So
Right.
that's huge. We're working with mothers and families, parents, guardians who fall into the position where they're needing services prenatally all the way up to their children getting into school, after school, and then emerging into young adulthood.
Yeah.
So our programs really range from prenatal all the way into young adulthood or even opportunity youth, what we call. So those youth who are disconnected from school and youth and are really just looking for extra opportunity to reintegrate back into society.
And the local management board exists in every county and
Yes.
the city of Baltimore, right? This is a Maryland state thing.
Absolutely. So this is a Maryland state framework. So there is one local management board in each jurisdiction, including Baltimore City. So although some of our programs may be a little bit different, our mission really is the same. We work stronger together. So we're always bouncing ideas off of each other through the association is what we call ourselves. And our allocation and funding comes through the Governor's Office for Children. So each LMB does receive an allocation to fund programming for our programs in the state of Maryland and specifically in Charles County, and that allows us to provide these programs to children, youth, and families for free because they are grant funded. So we have a little less stipulation on the requirements. Now, depending on if you give us a call, there may be other criteria you have to meet, but I
Right.
do want people to know that all of our programming is
Is free.
free and offered to families in Charles County.
Which is how Children and Family Resource Academy came to be, right?
Yes.
So your local management board funding was available.
Yes.
And I had an idea and should have kept my mouth shut because that idea is I think it's wonderful.
It
led
is.
to a lot
It
of work.
is.
So Children and Family Resource Academy is fully funded through the local management board,
Yes.
which means that participants, like Michelle, paid no money, dinner was taken care of,
Yes.
everything funded. Okay, excellent. And
Yes.
the point of that is that when somebody like me comes and says like, hey, I think there's a way, we modeled after Citizens Academy
Yes.
so that families can learn about what exists in Charles County.
Absolutely.
That's how it works. Somebody comes to you and says, I have a program, I think it would benefit the county, and then local management board sees if they can fund it, yeah?
Absolutely. And especially if it's going to fill a gap that we see in our community. Through our 3-year strategic plan, we're supposed to identify gaps and then produce programming that fills in those gaps and services for families. So CFRA aligned perfectly because we want to make sure that people are connected to resources, but can also create that peer support group that we're really looking for people to make those connections with. families, with neighbors, with people in the school system.
Yeah.
So just ensuring that it aligns with that community plan, which it does full circle, I think is great because it's another opportunity we can offer to our residents and families and caregivers who are in need of some assistance and looking for those resources, which is what we come back to as the LMB, is ensuring that those resources can be coordinated and that they're accessible to our families.
I love that. And I think it's interesting because your office kind of has both sides of it. You've got the Resource Connection website,
Yes.
which just is it's a site. It's just a go and
Yes.
visit on your own. But then the programs that all support that I know I could just go to the website on my own, but I need that human interaction. I need that support.
Absolutely.
What else is out there? So it's a nice kind of conglomeration of both things.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. And I think the CFRA allows people to meet each other stigma-free, judgment-free. I think, people like Michelle who get to attend and say, like, I have my school teacher hat on, but as a parent and as a guardian, I've also been through similar things that you've been through. So having that connection, I think it puts people at ease sometimes to know that, oh, wow, I'm really not in this alone.
Right.
And with this program, I can meet each other and meet other people who can offer me, hey, even like I've tried this, or I'm going through an IEP process, or, you reached out to this resource or this service and you got this great feedback. Now I feel more empowered to try this.
It feels safe. I've
Yeah.
a friend from try that again, Doria. Wow, a recommendation from a friend.
Absolutely.
Word of mouth feels really
Yeah.
safe. So Michelle, we've been talking about you like you're not
Oh,
here,
yes,
but
I'm
let's go ahead and loop you in. So Michelle, you did Children and Family Resource Academy. You did Citizens Academy first.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Children and Family Resource Academy came up. And what do you remember about that experience? Like, what stuck with you of the value of why you wanted to do it?
Well, as you mentioned, I am a parent as well and a teacher, and so I really appreciated that we talked about the mental health aspect of things for children specifically. We did our coursework and really dove into like how can we be a resource for our community, for the children that are in our lives, whether it be our own personal children, family members, or even like students and things like that.
Yeah, the
So that
children in
was
our lives is a beautiful way of saying that, of like the children that I impact, the
Yes.
children that I can help. Yeah.
sphere of influence. So
Yeah.
so that was definitely beneficial because there was some things that being an educator, we're trained in certain things as well,
Right.
but just that extra added layer that helped me to kind of approach things differently with my own children versus my children that I deal with at school as well.
Yeah.
So I
And
found that very beneficial.
What was it like to be in a space with other parents, caregivers, guardians? Was that a feeling of like, oh, there are other people out there? Was it a different perspective of, because you don't often get to work directly with the parents of the kids you serve? What was the kind of community aspect of
Well,
that?
I'll be honest to tell you, I think it's exciting. I always say, like, I wish parents could go back to school sometimes
Yeah.
because there's no handbook for us, really. Like, I've been in education for 20 years and I became a parent about 10 years ago and it's like,
Oh.
I thought I knew what I was doing. So it's nice to be around people who are at different stages. Some people had grown children. Some people had kids who were still in school the same age as mine that were a little bit ahead. And so it was nice to kind of pull knowledge from them and kind of say, oh, okay, you've been where I'm probably going to be soon.
Right.
Or you're right where I was. I can give information to
Yeah.
you. So it was a nice sharing and
I think that's
experience.
a beautiful way that you just said that, of that for regardless of where you are in your caregiving journey, there's probably somebody that you can look to and be like, am I going to be okay? You've already been here, help me. But there's also somebody else behind you that can be like, come on,
Yep,
I got you.
it'll be
Reach
okay.
out, grab my hand, we'll walk up together. And that was interesting in that first cohort that we had last year. We did have from
Baby
parents and
babies.
caregivers of littles. We also had, which I loved, educators, whom some didn't even, I think, have their own children or had children that were no longer living at home. And we had grandparents who
Yep.
were like,
Yep.
this is different than like
Yeah.
2025 was different than when I raised my kids. I want to know more. I want to do more. And that was a really beautiful thing for me to see the diversity in that room of the different people who, to Michelle's point, have children in their lives for some reason.
Yes.
And what can we do to wrap around them? One of the things that I wanted to kind of go back to is not everybody's going to make it to Children and Family Resource Academy, which is logical but also hard because I do think it's such a good experience. Sabrine, what are some of the resources that get shared at Children and Family Resource Academy that even if somebody couldn't come, you'd want them to know about? And then Michelle, I'm going to ask your experience being getting to do the resource fair that we did.
Sure. So I would say the main two resources that I would love for people to know is available to them in our county is the local care team. So our local care team is a team of 10 different child service agencies that come around to a table and reviews concerns from a parent, caregiver about their child who may have mental health or behavioral concerns. The program is really great because sometimes parents or caregivers don't know where to start. they almost feel lost. And the local care team coordinator, Jessica Gross, does a great job with meeting that parent or caregiver where they're at and letting them know, hey, I know you need this resource. Here are 10 different agencies you can speak to and ask your questions directly to.
Right.
And they are
all in one space.
They're
instead
all in
of
one space.
Go call this, go call that. Now circle back to
Exactly.
this. Like this is, it feels like
Yes.
a wraparound.
Real
Yeah.
time, you get your questions answered in real time,
Yeah.
and then you also get connections to the resources you're looking for. And at the end of it, Jessica produces what's called an action plan, and all the recommendations have been noted along with the contacts. And what's great about the local care team, this is also available in each jurisdiction in the state of Maryland, is we have the agencies who will actually reach out to the caregiver or the parent and say, hey, if you're available for a 5-minute call, we can start the referral process today, right now.
It's designed to be quick and no red tape.
It is,
That's
and
nice.
and it's also very, very honed in on what the child's needs are too. And if there's follow-up that needs to happen at the schools, that takes place. So really, it's meeting the child and the parent where they're at within the school, in the community, even in their homes.
I love it. And I think one of the things that I really appreciate that you guys say a lot is, you know, we can really provide supports for the child, but the child lives in a community with other
Absolutely.
adults, so that we have to provide resources for the adults. And I love where Children and Family Resource Academy kind of circles back into that too, of this isn't just what can we do for the kid, it's what can we do for the people who protect the kid.
Absolutely, yeah.
Love
And
it.
I think a second one would be the resource website. So I really encourage people to visit the resource website. There's currently over 100 agencies on there, ranging from all different categories of mental health, behavioral health, educational supports, disability supports. So really, my hope is for it to be something that everyone can view and say, aha, I didn't know this resource existed, and wow, I did not realize that I'm even eligible for this resource. And it's broken down from different age groups. So I think we go from, again, prenatally through the end stages of life. There's a service, I think, out there for everybody. And the great thing is it's updated weekly. There are events on there too. I want to say the last time we pulled our statistics, the events calendar has been the #1 thing that people are looking
Oh,
for.
I love that. Good.
So anybody who has an event they would like for us to post, we are happy to do so. And I really would encourage people to look for that, because again, if someone's not ready to pick up the phone and necessarily ask or reach out, they could at least
It's a good
search.
place to start.
It's a good place to
I'll
start.
make sure that the Resource Connection site is in the show notes for this.
Thank you.
So Michelle, you talked about, you know, you got your certification in youth mental health first aid through Children and Family Resource Academy, and you said that you used the book the other day.
Yeah, actually, I was thumbing through the book. It's sitting on my bookshelf behind my desk, and I forget what exactly I was looking for, but I just was like, oh, you know what? I've got this resource.
this
let
resource.
Me
I love
go
it.
through it. And so
The gift that keeps that actually is the nicest thing that I've heard all week. So thank you. That's a really nice feel good for me. But one of the other things that when we had talked about, you know, what you remembered about the program, you said it was the resource fair, getting to meet with the other resource providers. What was that experience like? Why was it valuable?
So just having access to the resource fair was important because, like you said before, you don't know what's out there, and having it all in one space to kind of, and it came to us, really was beneficial. I mean, there were certain things that I was like, I've been in this county for 30 plus years,
Right.
and you don't know what you don't know,
Yeah.
until someone says, hey, here's something that you don't know. So it was very beneficial, and I like that we could also bring our families too. Like my mom came. I live in a multi-generational home, so I've got my kids, my mom, my husband, and I, of course, and so all of the different ages and different needs, and so there was
Got to
something for
hear
everybody. Yeah.
And you're bringing up a great point. So thank you for reminding me that one of the things that I love about Children and Family Resource Academy is that our recreation division does provide childcare during the program. So you brought
I brought
family with you.
my 2 children,
Yes.
and my mom visited
And-
for one of the open. It was open house night.
Yeah,
thing.
and got good reviews. What did the
Yeah.
kids say about recreation?
They loved it. They loved all the slime making and the different activities and getting to play sports and stuff at
Yeah.
the rec center. So
I loved it. But I'm picturing that at the end of the night, we'd be wrapping up the adult content, the grown-up stuff, and you could start to hear the noise coming down the hallway. And it was like, they're coming. Like we have to be done, right? There was no transition time. It was not like a smooth Well, I so appreciate you both joining in this conversation. I so appreciate the support that you've given to this program, which I think is really wonderful. So just as a quick recap, our Children and Family Resource Academy, it's opening back up. We're going to be running from the end of February through the March 2026. We'll have classes on Tuesday evenings at the Waldorf Senior and Recreation Center. And as Michelle mentioned, one of those nights will be Youth Mental Health First Aid certification. You'll also have a chance to meet with partner agencies, learn about the local management board, the Resource Connection website. So our goal is to really get parents, caregivers, educators, as much information as we can all at once. And we feed you dinner and your kids have activities while they're there, school-age children. So I hope that listening and watching this conversation and hearing about the great people that attend programs like this, the great people that run programs like this, has made you interested, and all the information about how you can apply and be a part of the Children and Family Resource Academy will be in the show notes. Supreme Khalifa, our local management board supervisor, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And Michelle Cureton, who I forgot, Youth Mental Health First Aider is one more hat. That's a certification to be really proud of. Thank you for all that you do for this county, both as a resident who just wants to be more engaged and as somebody educating our kids at an age when they really need it.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you for asking.
Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in. I hope that you will consider joining us for Children and Family Resource Academy. And even if it's not the right fit for you, please share this information to somebody in your life who has an impact on our wonderful Charles County children. Thanks so much. Take care, stay safe, and stay engaged.
Thanks for listening. If you like this podcast and want to hear more, search Charles County Government on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And be sure to like and subscribe. We're also available on YouTube. Search Charles County Commissioners. And stay connected for all county news, information, and programs by visiting www.charlescountymd.gov/stay connected.